Sounds fun.
I don't think I've ever seen a pedestal moon pearl yet.
Yeah, according to the spoiler logs analysis, it's pretty rare. And they're starting out at Link's house, the usual starting place for Overworld glitches. And early map chats from thalane.
Alright. Moon Pearl Pedestal Dream is not dead yet. We can still have Ice Palace pendant. But we saw pendants on what was that, Eastern and Deserts?
Yeah.
I think green was on Eastern.
And thalane grabbing the powder over on the Lake Hylia Island with a clip and a auto walk. He lands partially in the transition, and that ends up making him automatically walk down partway the screen.
Yeah, so for those that haven't seen any of these matches, any of these glitch modes yet, so the big fun part about this is you get boots to start out with, and the big reason for that is all the clips and logic is based around doing the easiest method to do clips around in the overworld. We want to get in either 8 or 9 pixels into a wall by just tapping dash and a direction at the same time. If you're 8 pixels in, you go upwards. If you do the diagonal back into the slope, you go downwards if you're 9 pixels in. Looks like a single arrow on Aghanim, so fairly small chance of seeing that.
Pretty much dead at this point, I'd say. And thalane passed up the early few checks at Sazwala's hut, but that's fine because there wasn't anything big there.
Yeah, there's a little bit less value there this time around than there was. What was it? We were on V29 last tournament, I think. So there's been some minor fill adjustments.
And picking up Burna, which isn't necessary for anything except maybe logical spike cave access, but it's still nice from some strategies, like for ice armos or armos in general, and possibly blind if they're not good at the scripted strat, though I think they probably are.
Going straight for K45 on Thalane's side. Just a heart container. Something to be worried about, at least early on when you're doing these glitch modes, is Moon Pearl can be in places where you are required to use what's called a bunny dungeon revival. So having too many safeties extra early, it can make that process a little bit slower. Thalane, he's gonna get an upward teleport to a dash turn, and then if you do the diagonal into the slope, and then you can do some funky collision to wiggle your way up to grab that item there.
Yeah, I think he, yeah, it looks like he accidentally did a downward teleport there, though. It's understandable because that's a non-standard teleport location. Usually you do 1 pixel down. And he put the wrong inputs in there and got himself stuck. Normally if you press the right inputs after getting the item, you can get unstuck and jump off.
So let's take a little bit of time and kind of explain how these teleports actually works. Within certain places, so there's this collision detection system, and if you're colliding with these boundaries at the right spots, the game's like, okay, you're not supposed to be here, so let's do some funky calculation where you should be. There's a little bit of some errors on there, so it shoots you straight up or straight down. And then when you're stuck inside a wall, there's some nice movements pop you in different directions so you can get out of some situations.
Yeah, usually if you're not like exactly in the center of a block, pressing a direction will eject you in the opposite direction. So that can get you out of the occasional seemingly stuck situations. Something you got to keep in mind with these clips. Oh, early glove. That's very nice. And a hammer. Wow. Mitts are logically required for a couple things in this mode. Ice Palace, Blacksmith, and the Purple Chest as a result of the Blacksmith. But I don't think we'll be seeing them hunting for it. They probably know the ways to get around that stuff.
Lots of early monies for Furaime's just gonna go ahead and buy some bombs. Like right now, well, we do have that hammer, so not the primary means of doing damage in some of the early places, but there's still a ton of places that require bombs. We'll probably see both runners head back down to the desert area after this one. Adds that checkerboard cave check almost immediately.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to clip down to the desert from near the maze race, so that's pretty much considered part of the Kakariko routing in Overworld glitches. And flippers for both runners means it's a little bit easier to get both the Zora's Ledge and Zora King item when they swing up there eventually.
Yep, in this particular mode, the only dungeon that actually requires the flippers is Swamp Palace. All the minor glitches that you know as sequence breaks from previous tournaments, those are completely in logic, for the most part, completely in logic. There's a few exceptions depending on the specific application or whether or not damage is required. Both runners opting to do the clip down to desert in slightly different ways. So that's also the fun part on these glitch modes is there's a ton of different techniques that you can do to get to the exact same spot. So there's always a lot of variety based on personal preference and comfortability in doing those things. So we have a unique item in Super Bunny Cave, which they already have logical access to with that hammer.
Yeah, it's called Super Bunny Cave because you can very easily get the Super Bunny glitch in it just by falling in a hole. So logic can't expect them to do that. And I have seen Pearl in there this tournament, I think.
Yep, I have it on all my races too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but we'll probably see them at least do the Light World Death Mountain checks before they do that, just kind of chain that in with the rest of Death Mountain really fast. We're going to see them both hop into Hera just to see if it's fire locked to get the big key, since that is a crystal they want to get that done anyways.
Yeah, getting at least those couple first Hera checks is usually pretty good. And hopefully it doesn't have any thing in the basement.
Alright, so we got both items in desert on the right side. Nothing of progressional value. Furaime's going to go ahead and check out K45 really fast, and I'll have a quick little detour to get back. Thalane, it's really hard to say what would have been the fastest way to get to K45 from his perspectives. He's already checked out K45 earlier, but then there's a clip if you stay on the upper part of desert in order to go straight up and make it to Checkerboard Cave that way.
Yeah, but he was on the right side, so he had to come out the right exit.
Yeah. It's really hard to say what's this. I mean, I guess there's more transitions if you stayed in desert or tried to die. Furaime did pick up some magic while he was in desert. Something Thalane did not do while he was still in the Desert Palace. So he's gonna make quick use on that, checking that magic bat.
And Thalane's going to be grabbing Agata and then saving and quitting out, because the way out is slow even with boots. Ooh, that pays off.
Oh, yep. So hopefully Thalane makes his way back to Kakariko fairly soon.
Given that he's starting at the links. Oh no, he's going for South Shore. Yeah, that fire rod is a nice find because it means Furaime can definitely do a full clear of Hera if he needs to.
That and Fire Ward is definitely required in the sea with 2 light world pendants.
Yeah, it'll also, if Skull Woods is crystal, that'll let him clear it out soon when he gets to the Dark World. Which might actually be where the Moon Pearl is, because that's one of the dungeons that can expect you to do a dungeon revive.
Yep. And then note that Pearl should only be in the front part of Skull Woods. There was a change in logic where you shouldn't have logical access to the back without Moon Pearl, just on the off chance that somebody beats Aghanim before entering Skull Woods area.
Yeah, normally in Overworld glitches, people probably won't have been Aghanim by the time they get there. So dying for the revival will put them in what's called Fake Light World, or Fake Dark World. So when they leave the dungeon, they'll still be on the Dark World screen, but the game thinks they're on the Light World, so they'll stay unbunnied even without the pearl. But if Aghanim's killed and they have the mirror, then the game will put them in the real Dark World, and they'll be bunnied and they won't be able to get into the back. Oh, and there's the pearl. And the mirror. Nice.
We totally missed out on Furaime's side while we were talking about the implications of no Moon Pearl yet.
Yeah, you got the same things over there. And saving and putting out instead of going for Zora's Domain with Boots Waterwalk.
And Thalane is going to set up for that water walk. Or likely going to. There's a little clip so you can just get into that cave without clipping. Nope, he saved and quit out as well.
Yeah,
Actually, it's like that's a pretty good play. You've got Mirror, you've got Moon Pearl. You know there's a unique item in Super Bunny Cave. You can chain all that Zora area that you'd use that water walk for while you're in Death Mount.
Yeah, they could do Super Bunny, mirror back, then clip down to the Zora era from the Light World. Or clip down to Catfish, and then mirror to Zora. And get that as well.
Furaime starting with a Hype Cave check in Dark World. Let's see. The alien looks like he's going the same way. So the last pendant is at Mire.
And most of Swamp Palace down there is in logic now too, except for the hook shot locked back. So don't think we'll be seeing them go in right. Oh, they might be going in right now with the hook shot right there. And meanwhile, Thalane is doing the standard Death Mountain ascent and going up and down to fix his camera so that going in the cave doesn't take 2 minutes to transition.
Yep, so hopefully for his sake he remembers Magic Bat when he goes down and does Thieves Town. Furaime using a nice little clip to hop onto this area next to Hobo. And then from here he's going to go ahead and check out probably Pyramid. And maybe make his way up to, probably saving Quip from Pyramid. And then make his way up to Catfish later on with the Death Mountain checks. We'll see. Possibly route in the rest of Hyrule Castle with Pyramid.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad choice now that he's got some slightly better darkroom navigation aids. Oh, full magic on the tier 2 pole. That's very nice. And a fetch quest on the pyramid.
Yeah, but I couldn't see what was on top of Spectacle Rock right there.
Looks like Furaime is going for the Hyrule Castle, and Thalane's getting a hint that the last armor is on the Pyramid Ferry, which means they're unlikely to go for it unless they need access to that location, that part of the Dark World.
Let's see if Thalane goes for that boomerang. So what we need for Go mode that we haven't seen. We need 2 swords. And we need a bow and an ice rod.
Oh, and Samaria.
And Samaria. Looks like the only chance for pedestal required if it is ice rod on pedestal. If it's a sword on pedestal, they're not going to bother with that. We have a junk hint down on the first floor of Hera. I didn't see what the basement had for us.
He got the Bombos medallion in the basement cage.
Meanwhile, Furaime's making his way deeper into Hyrule Castle. Typically a pretty high value rate for progression as well. And it's one...
Oh, go ahead, if you want to say something.
Well, there's those mitts. So, nothing of value in the basement of Hera.
Yeah, and the hint even told him that it was a map there. But he would have found out there was nothing there since he got the second item anyway.
Those mitts are actually gonna... Or it's probably gonna help lead Thalane in the right direction to that fire road too. So if he ends up doing Thieves Town after he does the rest of Death Mountain checks, he'll probably opt to go ahead and do Blacksmith and then get that powder along the way, or that magic back along the way. So that's going to work out in his favor pretty well.
Also means he's got Logical Ice Palace access, so that's always fun. Although the logic can still expect use of Samaria in glitched logic because bomb jumps are not in logic.
Dead Rocks are giving him a little bit of trouble. sometimes a little bit of a pain to hit with the hammer.
And it looks like he's gonna go for the Dark World access from here and check Super Bunny Cave, then probably clip down for Catfish and Zora. Maybe get that hookshot cave bonkable spot too.
Yep, I forget if Thalane does any hovering or not. Rami's on his way up to Death Mountain right now.
There's the lamp. And I'm sure they can both do the dark rooms fine, but it's still nice not having to do a couple of the more annoying ones in the dark. And that was a pretty interesting Death Mountain ascent from Furaime, going straight for Hera from there.
Alright, we'll see how Paradox treats us today.
Lots of items, and it's in logic early, so there's good hope here. Doing pretty well hammering those mini mold arms, which isn't easy.
Not much in Paradox today, but that's fine. We've got a ton of items for this part in the game.
Thalane heading back to the Dark World, probably going for Zora and Catfish. Oh no, he's going for the hookshot clip to the back. And he gets it first try, but that's a bit of an interesting choice. Guess he figured it was just faster than climbing up to the front. Oh, he's just just using it for fast access to the top. Pretty nice speed trick there.
Yeah, I think it was a good play.
Yeah, it was.
Good decision. Bar is being in the way, though.
Though I have seen a lot of people mess up that, oh, he's doing hovering. Mess up the hookshot cave clip.
So if he can get that, not having the hookshot yet, won't be too big a deal. How hovering works is there's exactly one frame after you stop using the dash that the game doesn't register Link needing to fall. So you can use that one frame of leeway between these dashes to hover across these holes. He's going to opt out of that for right now. We will see Furaime go ahead and do that while he is there, since he does have that hook shot.
Another one of those auto walks to get down to Catfish area.
And also pointing out, like, Thalane wouldn't have even been able to go to the front of hookshot cave from the back with only one bomb there.
That's a good point. And silvers, not necessary but very nice to have, obviously. Oh, and there's that ice rod we were wondering about. What did you get in that bottle? Was that a
That was a
bee
fairy.
or a fairy? Oh,
That was a
nice.
fairy. We'll probably finally see the Sahasra check from thalane on this after. We may or may not. I'm not sure if we'll save him from Zora or not.
And there's the graveyard clip from Furaime. Another one you see people mess up a bit because it's a little bit particular about how you do it.
Second bottle.
This is Randomizer. People don't really keep world records for this. Doesn't really make much sense.
Thalane is gonna, looks like, head over to Village of Outcasts.
Thankfully, the mitts save him from having to go around the long way to the portal, which is one of the few advantages they have in Overworld glitches.
Furaime is going to go upwards, check out what's on the island. Not going to see much value, so he's not going to try to hop back in. In the clouds, I hear there's some random legend there that you can just walk up and you'll hop down back into the normal part of the mountain.
Yeah, out of bound hops can behave pretty weird. There's ones where if you do it just right or just wrong, depending on your point of view, can throw you like across the screen or make you scroll and look like you land on the same screen anyway. That's Bombos on Total Rock, though they can avoid using it, but it might logically be required. And the first sword for thalane. Oh, and the first sword back there for Furaime. So thalane won't be getting that until he swings around to Hype Cave and picks up the hook shot, and then we'll probably get it the next time he has to be in the Dark Death Mountain area. And thalane doing the Village of Outcasts overworld checks first and opening up the front. Oh, going to Thieves' Town right away. Thankfully, he has the hammer, so he can do everything he needs to here, and doesn't have to potentially worry about what's in that one hammer-locked chest. And meanwhile, Furaime is doing the Death Mountain checks that thalane did a bit earlier. Won't be finding anything interesting in Paradox Cave, unfortunately. And thalane trying to hammer that pot, but forgetting that the hammer lands to the side. So just missing it and eventually picking it up.
Yeah, hammer has some interesting hitboxes. Changes a little bit when you have your sword out, too.
Yeah, the extended hitbox from the sword is nice.
Gets a god picks. Well, a little bit off. Couldn't see a look that wall right there.
That looked like he was right on it. He dashed past both of the spiked blocks there. And Furaime going to be making the same catfish and Zora's domain checks as Thalane did a bit ago.
Nice double kill with that pot.
And that ice rod.
Haven't seen much value yet in Thieves Town.
Yeah, it's been, hasn't been any good items, but still need to do it for the crystal at least. At least it's not a pendant Thieves Town.
Definitely. And it's going to put him around the area to go ahead and grab that fire rod. That's a magic bat. While taking advantage of those mitts in the mirror.
And if he continues along the standard South Darkwood checks, he'll be picking up the hookshot too, and then they'll probably be pretty close party around that point. And the fact, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, then with all the items that he's got, by the time he makes it a high pick, we'll probably see that swamp play from him at that point for sure.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. And because Thalane didn't get the small key in any of the checks before blind, then he knows the small key is locked inside the big chest. So it's nice not to have to go back for that.
Ooh, Furaime making the GT play. He can clear everything except right hand side. At least as far as Lord GT.
Yeah, with the density of items, it's a pretty good choice. And since this is Overworld Glitch's logic, there is none of the standard junk fill, and it's in logic very early, so there's a good chance of progression items up here.
So he's going to finish off the rest of the Village of Outcasts really fast. Probably see him do Dig a Game really fast. Possibly check out my medallion in Myers Shed. And then make his way back up for Blacksmith.
That's a lot of bottles. Furaime not getting any of the items he needs from GT yet, but there's still lots of checks to go here.
No cane, no boomerang, so he does have to spend some bombs on some switches. We don't get to see that very often.
Yep.
Man, this digging game. There it is.
Yeah, and Randomizer, the digging game, is guaranteed to throw up its item between 1 and 30 digs in. So you're definitely hoping it's more close to 1 than 30. Although if you're efficient, oh, that's ether on Misery Mire, so they will need that ether to be in go mode. Oh no, that's a pendant mire. Never mind. My bad.
So we got half magic and quake in Mire. Then Thalane will probably clip over to the right check out the Grove or Stump Kid, and then we'll see if he makes his way back to check the blacksmith really fast, and then do that little check. Okay, so he's going to do that first, and that's going to be great for him. That's going to lead him to that fire rod. It's like if he didn't do this now, it's like it'd probably be a pretty long time before he makes his way back up this way with everything else checked.
Yeah, the blacksmith is just too close at that point to pass up for most people, I'd say. Then we're going to see some Burna ice armor strats. And Furaime doing it the correct way. I've seen a few people try to burn them after they all start closing into the small circle in the middle, and that just doesn't work as well.
Yep, and then Burner does the most damage, that non-bow damage.
And there's our last bottle of the seed in
And-
the big key room of GT.
And we did not see the big key, did we? I don't think we saw the big... Didn't get to see the big chest.
Grabbing the purple chest to take him down through the South Dark World checks.
Does remember about his powder. So he'll get that fire rod. We'll see if he cashes in that chest or decides to go ahead and finish off Skull Woods. I think we still have one item remaining there.
And Furaime and the Village of Outcasts catching up in terms of dungeons. And yeah, Thalane's continuing with the South Dark World checks. So Furaime will be finishing up Thieves Town around the time Thalane finishes up South Dark World, so they'll be roughly on par at that point. Although Furaime will have Master Sword first, I think, when he gets that sword, which is in is it in Thieves Town or was it in Skullwood?
It was in Skull Woods. It was the first chest in the left hole.
Ah.
Don't know books, so we don't get to see what that tablet is. But we'll see that Hype Cave check from Thalane. And with a sword in hand, with his hammer, and the flippers, we'll probably see him dip right back into here.
Yeah, lots of checks in Swamp Palace. Unfortunately, no hint found yet telling him about what's on the left side, so he'll be doing that blind.
Nice chest turn.
Yeah, he's going for Swamp Palace, getting out that mirror.
Then after that, I think we'll probably see the GT play out of him if we don't see anything in Swamp.
Yeah, with Hookshot, that puts a lot of checks in logic. And I'm wondering if we'll be seeing hammer Argus strats, since he's only got the fighter sword.
We still need the cane for GT Big Key and for Turtle Rock. Cane could be in Big Chest of Turtle Rock.
Could be both Bow and Cane in Misery Mire. That'd be fun.
Yeah, if Thalane does his GT play after this, he'll probably do Hookshot K before he hops into GT. Meanwhile, Furaime is finishing up Thieves Town with the blind fight.
Very nice scripted fight there.
Let's see, Furaime, he did Hype Cave, then he went straight to Pyramid from there, so he still has to check out Mire area, so we might see him do those checks next, and then just hop into Swamp. Let's see.
Finishing up the Village of Outcast checks he didn't get. And it's either south to the rest of the Dark World or north to Skullwoods.
Alright, no decisions need to be made as far as if you need to come back to the big chest after the begin the big key. He does go straight to the back. I thought, didn't we see a compass already?
You just got compass out of the big chest.
Right after reset, yeah. So there's still an item on the left side.
Oh, there's some area. That's muchly appreciated. And the bug net, which doesn't even have a tracker icon. Oh, going for the spins. Spin and slash.
Definitely pretty good. I do like this. That strat for that. Just save on that menu time.
Yeah, he's doing it pretty fast. Definitely a better choice than Hammer Argus if he's this good at it.
Yeah. And then just some general movement things like while it may look like it's faster just to switch to hookshot in some things and just hookshot across a lot of places, sometimes the menu time just to switch to that offsets any gain on something like that. So some of the more minor optimization we might see that we'll see for some of the runners is only switching when needed.
Yeah, hookshot is 2 pixels per frame compared to 1.5 for normal movement, so it's you got to be going across a fairly big distance for hookshot to save you time if you don't already have it out. Nice shovel dash from Furaime. Completely pointless, but it's fun to watch.
At this point, I think Thalane, he'll probably do Hookshot Cave first. And then when he gets that Master Sword, probably go ahead and full clear T-Rock at that point. And then finish off with a GT play after that. He's got his camera, so he's going to GT.
Yeah.
So he saw the hint about Pyramid, so he knows he doesn't need to go there.
Yeah, normally if you wanted to go to East Death Mountain, you would go into Hair after the hair clip to fix your camera in position. But since he didn't and just went straight to the Dark World, meant he was going for GT. He was going for the... No, go ahead.
And then keeping the camera messed up is actually pretty dangerous at times as well. There are some trigger... So we talked about a little bit about global positioning and local positioning with these screen wraps before. One of the things that also is based on global position is where the screen transitions are. So if you hit an unexpected screen transition while wrapped, in some instances it can actually give you a scroll lock. So I'm not sure how safely you can actually go right from a screen wrap in that particular screen. Hey, there's that big key already.
It'd probably be pretty hard anyways, because you'd have to clip over to the right while still wrapped, and then find an entrance to like Bunny Cave or Hookshot Cave to fix your camera.
Yeah, a lot of decision making and as far as what techniques and strats to use is a nice little struggle of I could do this, but should I do this sort of thing. And then we will get to see that big key check on the lane side.
As well as the rest of the right side, probably, once he's done with the left.
And we didn't see anything in GT last time we were here, so hopefully we'll see something at least within the rest of the GT.
Yeah, if Bo's on the right side, then that pays off for him fairly well. Yeah, he didn't have a small key for the right side when he went down there first.
He did try to open it though. Then he realized he didn't have a key. So he did have that plan to keep going right initially.
There are still checks on the right side, and there's no junk fill, so because it's a glitched logic, so there is still a good possibility of good items on the right side, and he's not in go mode yet.
Yep, we have seen seeds with the final 2 go mode items in GT several times. GT actually has a pretty high percentage, like over 90% chance of having progression inside it. We do know that the progression will not be in the upper GT that we need. Outside, possibly another sword for Thalane if he doesn't make his way back to Hookshot Cave. So when he does find the bow, he actually won't be in go mode quite yet. That was an unfortunate bonk from that Helmosaur.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen it get over to that side before.
I don't think I have either. Alright, Furaime's got his cane.
And Burna getting them all bunched up. And even with the bit of lagging it causes, just hitting everything at once is so good. And that's all 4 bottles for both of them. And that blue one is extra nice because besides giving full magic and health, it can also be used for fake fluting in glitched logics.
Yep, and then I don't think thalane went over to West Side Swamp. I think there was still an item there.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. Using that other shot from the Samaria block bursting to knock back the Gibdo and give him time to put another block down. Just more junk on the right side.
And with that mirror out, nope, never mind. Kind of looked like he was planning to go ahead and clear out the top of GT using mimic clips. But he was just preparing in case he found a bow.
Yeah, he was just snagging the free key while he was still there. Both doing the hair clip at the same time.
Alright, so we will see thalane hop on over to probably finish off the rest of Hookshot Cave, and then we'll see him clip on down to Turtle Rock. Possibly even open the front, just get that hint while he was there. Furaime's off to Turtle Rock right now.
And they're both doing what's called the Turtle Rock Climb, appropriately. You do a downward teleport at one of those upward bumps, and then you do a little jig to progressively eject yourself.
Furaime's going straight to the back.
Right. Oh, nice.
So, hitting an Overworld transition at the same time you mirror, it has some fun effects. Then, I'm not entirely sure exactly everything that's going on right there on that one. I just know it works.
So yeah, what mirror transitioning does is it... oh, there's the bow in Laser Bridge. Very nice for Furaime.
Yeah, but then Furaime still hasn't gotten his other sword. I mean, if he goes to Skull Wars pretty soon, he will be in go mode. But by the time thalane is done with this, he'll be in go... What? No. Yeah, he will be in go mode. He got his Master Sword.
So yeah, what the mirror transition glitch does is it activates a sort of transition, the mosaic transition used for the like special overorders like Hobo, Master Sword Pedestal, the Lost Woods. And I think that one has special case camera setup stuff. So when you activate it on a normal transition, it puts you through normally to the other side, but doesn't change any of the camera or scrolling variables which get stuck at what they were on the previous screen. So in some cases, going through a transition after doing that mirror transition glitch will put you further along.
Well, in fact, in vanilla, there was a small key door on the other side of that big key door for whatever reason. That got removed for Randomizer, so you don't accidentally use an extra small key.
Yeah, they didn't make a big key backdoor sprite, so they ended up using the small key at the back of a couple of big key doors, and I guess just figured people would never go there.
Or at least have the ability to go there.
Yeah, you need to do some serious glitching to get back there, normally.
That Bari knocking thalane off that platform. Yep. So if there's a sword on the front part of Turtle Rock, well, Furaime's not going quite there yet. He'll probably come back and open the front, grab those chests, since he's still looking for that sword.
He doesn't actually need to open the front. After the boss sends him
Oh, yeah.
to the front, yeah, you just press it down and it ejects you
I
back
mean,
up.
yeah. He'll probably still mirror and use the teleport again so he can come back and check big chest. I'm not sure what we're looking at. Alright, so both map the compass. So something is in the big chest. Just another small key. So he won't need to do anything with that portal then.
Furaime taking the hammer, trying to skill over, trying to fight a sword it.
Definitely the thing to do.
Yeah, the hitboxes aren't too bad on the heads, and it does temper damage, so it's a good choice if the menuing is faster than whatever else you would use.
Actually, from here, it's like be a great choice just to go straight to pod.
No,
Oh, he's going to Skull Wood.
Yeah, he's doing a map wrap over there. So he will be getting that sword and he'll be in go mode.
Yeah, since he is still searching for stuff, he will come back and check out the front part.
So yeah, I was worried how long it would take for Furaime to get over to Skull Woods, but no, he went straight there, so this keeps him in the race. Because now that thalane got the bow, he's in go mode.
And then we get to see a hammer slash fire rod modular fight on Furaime's side.
Now there are actually a fair bit of locations you can map wrap at, but you need to be at the right location to fix your camera and positioning, because normally moving around will, if you move in the wrong direction after doing a map wrap, it goes poorly for you. Usually an infinite scroll.
Yep, and it just depends on. There's a few different factors, mainly on like what quadrant of a overworld super tile you enter. Whenever you do that map wrap, determines which directions you can go, and then thalane is going straight to. Oh, Furaime did not go to the front and check out the front to get his master sword. So he's hoping to find those swords. Like, since he has pod and he has to check chests until he gets the big key. So he's just hoping to find that as part of the process.
Yeah, and thalane was trying to do the same map wrap Furaime did, but hopped down on the wrong spot.
Alright, so thalane is in Goma, so he's just going to go straight to Ice Bows, get that done. Maybe check out 2 or 3 chests along the way in hopes of a tempered sword, or possibly even just skip them all together.
And if Furaime doesn't find a sword from one of these chests soon, this could kind of hurt him, because Thalane's going to be doing go mode dungeons while Furaime is going for a full clear.
As far as damage to Ganon, what? Oh, the invincibility thing. Yeah, that's randomizer only.
Yeah, it's a change in randomizer because of these other modes like glitched logics and entrance randomizer, where you'd be able to get to Ganon before you have your goal completed.
That was also added for the all dungeons goal as well.
Yeah, that too.
That was nice. Not playing very nicely. Thalane's got all the items he needs, so we're not going to get to see these hints in Ice Palace. As far as being in the way. Okay, there's big key for Furaime, but since he's still missing a sword, he is going to be checking more chests out.
Meanwhile, Thalane gets to do the Ice Palace Go mode. It's pretty fast. You can skip all the checks and even the big key if you do the Ice Palace bomb jump.
Yep, Thalane's pretty confident with that, with this Master Sword gain, and especially with Silvers. So not even going to bother checking some of the easier chests to try to find a better sword.
And is probably going to be spinning Cold Stone to the corner and then just spamming Fire Rods. Oh no, he's doing dash pokes and swings. I'm surprised he didn't go in on the Fire Rod earlier before they broke apart, but he's still a very quick kill.
Looked like he was going for the traditional low percent NMG strat for that. He was getting ready to switch to hammer and finish it off that way.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of people just do the sword only strats with tempered, but I think I haven't seen anyone try to go for sword only with master instead of just getting them in the corner and then spamming Fire Rod.
Yeah, so the traditional low percent vanilla NMG strat, so you would do basically the exact same setup as the tempered setup, except after the double spin on the side, you would bust out hammer and finish them off in the corner that way.
That's a pretty good choice too, if you can pull it off. And now Thalane coming right behind Topod, and he's going to be able to skip a lot of those checks there.
Yeah, the last place it just depends on how he routes that one, because it's in the basement of Pod. So we'll see how fast he goes to the backside, or what checking strategy he does for this. And it does not look like there was a sword here. There's basically every single pendant left that we have not entered a single pendant dungeon this seed. So there's still quite a few other places where a sword could be. Unfortunately for Furaime, he skipped the crystal dungeon that did have a sword, or that front part of it.
Yeah, if the other two swords are somewhere more annoying, could send for my hunting quite a bit.
Oh, I didn't see Furaime grab that big key chest with the mushroom.
Huh.
Yep, so the big key chest is probably going to be the last chest that thalane checks out in here. So it's going to buy Furaime a little bit of time while going to grab the big key here and doing the upper GT chests. Furaime still needs to do Ice Palace. Mummy's not giving him a fun time.
Yeah, they definitely aren't fun to keep back with just a fighter sword. Well, that's an interesting bong jump from thalane.
Yeah, opts do not deal with beetles being in the way. Alright, so we won't see that mace check from thalane. I do like that little cane dash strat on getting that button on the left side, on the right side.
Thalane's looking for the big key. Where he was.
Yeah, thalane's got the big key now. So everything else is just go mode from there. Yeah, big key and pod was in the basement on the right chest.
Yeah, unfortunately the commentary stream went down for a second for me, so I guess I missed that. Yeah, not 100% sure why he bombed the wall to the big chest, maybe just muscle memory at that point.
I mean, big key could still be in the maze. Well,
Yeah, but
still
it could
doesn't
be in
matter.
the big chest.
I thought he was going to set up for a bomb jump for a second, but that didn't happen. Or decided after throwing the bomb that, or after laying the bomb that they didn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. Furaime showing off some fire rod strats in the gauntlet. Thalane did finish Mothula, but he didn't get the front
Thalane did do the front. Furaime didn't do the front.
Oh no, yeah, thalane, not Furaime. My bad. Yeah, I got their names mixed up.
Yeah, Thalane didn't get the clip, unfortunately, or the little rap from Turtle Rock to Skull Woods.
Yeah. And it looks like that's where Thalane's going now.
Then we will see if there is another sword hidden in GT on the top. I'm not sure if it'll make the difference on being able to catch up. Well, not without getting a... Not without a tempered sword, so... Master Sword gaining, you've got 24 spins in the first two phases. Can get pretty draining, and with some unfortunate fireback spawns, could be a pretty tough fight.
Yeah, the second phase with the fire bats is what makes it really annoying getting those spins in there.
Still no sword.
Still got the validation chest. Nice hammering. Yeah, this is one of those rare seeds where the
So
lack of swords.
GT was absolutely dry this seed.
Yeah, that too.
Well, you absolutely need a Master Sword or better to complete a seed.
Yeah, you need at least Master Sword spins to damage Ganon. Even regular Master Sword slashes won't work.
Yeah, if Furaime were to hop down into the Ganon hole, we would get Ganon taunting you, telling you to complete your goal, and then will not take damage during the fourth phase.
And Thalane's going to be doing the upper floors of GT, and it looks like Furaime is going for Ice Palace. I don't
Yep,
think
we did not see a single chest other than Cold Stare having, I think, a key.
Yeah, I think it was a small key. Something sharp held by someone friendly. That's not a good hint. Right now, Furaime wants to be finding a sword in a dungeon and just found out that one is on the NPC. Probably so as well at this point.
I think that's the last friendly that we haven't seen.
Yeah, they got a bottle, so they both did Sick Kid when they went to Kakariko the first time. There was a bottle in, what was it? Blind's Hut. And Thalane got his Master Sword from finishing up Hookshot Cave, which is where Furaime got first sword.
The second sword that Thalane found was in the front part of Skull Woods. Furaime was just missing sword for go mode at that point after finishing Turtle Rock. Did the wrap to get to the back of Skull Woods and then save and quit after beating Mothula.
Thalane's first sword was from dipping the Skull Woods earlier, and then the second sword was from Hookshot Cave.
I think Sarasarla does have the sword. I don't think there's another friendly that we haven't seen on between both players.
And Furaime is probably thinking that takes it down to 2 swords with unknown locations, but we know there's one in Skull Woods, so there's actually only one more sword out in the wild.
Yeah, but oh, it says to see the silvers. Does silver fall underneath that hint, or does it have to be swords? I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it's swords only.
Because we did see the silver arrows on Catfish.
Yeah, I checked. Silver arrows don't count as something sharp.
Alright. So that would put the sword on Sahasrahla.
And Thalane has a Master Sword, so he's opting to go for spins here.
Yes, like on doing hammer strats, you have to make sure you're really good on the final hit and switching, being able to recognize the hit before it locks your menu. So you can be on hookshot and have it going just as the chest spawns.
Oh, Thalane almost getting that triple. Not quite. 2 is still very good.
Yeah, with 4 swords and impulse, like generally the last thing you ever see people needing a go mode for. But it does seem to be happening more frequently. Yeah, Fromm is going to go ahead and cash in on the Sasrala hint.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's not gonna be good for time.
Oh yeah, and then we did see both items in desert, so it's either do this or go to Misery Mire. Or go ahead and do the front part of Skullwoods.
Yeah, forgetting. Not doing the.
Oh yeah, you can't do Misery Mire since we haven't found an ether yet.
Not doing the front part of Skullwoods really hurt Furaime here.
Yeah, this would have been an ultra tight match, and was ultra tight up until that skip.
Yeah, Thalane's getting some nice sword spins and some doubles in there, and cleaning out the second phase of Ganon probably soon. Yeah, I think he's done because he stopped swings, so he's been counting.
Yes, like typically, it's like if you get that nice little top right or top left corner, you can get 10 spins in a single cycle pretty fast.
That's a lot of teleports. Oh, just missing the double there.
Alright, I think we got the 3. Should be the last one right here.
And there it is. GG Thalane.
With an official SRL race time of 1:21:16. And then, if we don't see a sword off, wasn't paying attention to the items in here, but if Furaime's back here, we didn't see a sword. And we should see that sword on Sahasrara, and then all Furaime has to do is Ganon. Actually, not too terribly far behind, actually.
Yeah.
With all these extra checks, either.
And there it is. Gonna be going for the warp south of Link's house and rushing up to smack Ganon down. And yes, Thalane and Furaime are doing their second round right after this. At 5 Eastern. Oh, that's unfortunate. One of those skulls spawning in the cut grass.
Yeah.
Credits on Thalane's side telling us that a book was on the witches. Just if anyone was curious about that.
Yeah, for Master Sword Ganon, we'd love to see Ganon on one of the corner locations rather than the middle two. No, I said that wrong. We want upper corners, lower middles, so we can get these double spins in. Phase 2 with like these upper corners.
Yeah, and Furaime is making good use of the Ganon RNG there, and then caping up to stay safe.
Yeah, just get that extra double spin in just to make that one cycle phase 2.
Going for the torch glitch. And that's going to be a double, I think. Yep. Very nice. GG Furaime.
Finishing up in the SRL time of 1:25:24. GG's to Furaime. And then only a mere 4 minutes behind, doing a bunch of extra checks looking for that second sword.
Yeah, that was really close. If it went for that other sword.
Okay, it looks like the runners will be taking a 5-minute break, and then they will be doing that second race starting pretty soon. So, stay nearby for a bit, and then we'll get underway with the final match of the group stage of the Overworld Glitches Tournament.